Firefighters at Sioux Gateway Airport say they aren't being paid their agreed upon hourly wage.
That's impacting morale and how much money the firefighters receive for working overtime. KTV's Matt Hoffman is digging deeper into the issue.
Jacob Hagen was thrilled to become an airport firefighter about a year ago. The job he applied for said he'd be paid between $20 to $30 an hour. But his checks, they started at just over $15 an hour. Now Hagen and a veteran firefighter department are speaking out, frustrated by the lack of a response from the Iowa Department of Public Defense. Hagen used to be a volunteer firefighter, but a job with the state at the Sioux Gateway Airport was too good to pass up. But when he opened his pay statements, the job felt less appealing.
And the first paycheck was at $15.51 an hour.
And what did you do when you saw that?
Kind of flabbergasted.
Yeah.
That was not the advertised job pay rate.
Hagen provided a screenshot of the job he applied for. It shows a pay range of between $20.79 to $30.81. But his pay stub from February 10th, 2023 shows he was paid $16.16 an hour.
And they basically explained that because we work 26% more hours in a year than a normal state employee working 40-hour work weeks, the pay is cut by 26%, and that is your new hourly wage.
Hagen and veteran firefighter Derek Stanfield said the hourly pay cut came after an August 2021 memo from Major General Benjamin Correll. Correll was the director of the Iowa Department of Public Defense, the agency the firefighters work for. In that memo, the general wrote that the state had been slightly overpaying overtime for the firefighters, and that snag was discovered when the state switched payroll providers. The general wrote that the firefighters would now be paid for their actual hours worked, but that vacation and sick time would still be paid out at a higher rate because the firefighters had been relying on that rate to make financial decisions. Hagen and Stanfield say the state then cut their hourly wage to ensure the firefighters were paid the same amount of money at the end of the year as state employees who only worked 40 hours each week.
They noticed from the old pay system that when they converted to the new system in 2021 that we were not being paid for every hour worked.
Stanfield says firefighters have always worked an average of 53 hours each week. Before the 2021 memo, Stanfield says firefighters would have their hours adjusted down to 80 hours per pay period, regardless of how many hours they actually worked. The firefighters didn't like the arrangement, but they didn't file a grievance and speak out publicly until their hourly pay. Ultimately, the firefighters say they love their jobs, but this pay issue has made the last couple of years pretty difficult. They say they're speaking out now in hopes that someone from the state government will take notice.
Especially a guy like me who's been with them for 19 years. You know, all we're trying to do is talk to them, make sure they realize what's going on, and let's try to work through the issue.
A spokesperson for the Iowa National Guard provided the following statement on behalf of the Iowa Department of Public Defense. It says, quote, "We appreciate the hard work of our firefighter employees. An individual employee raised an issue regarding their pay adequacy, which is still going through the grievance process with the Public Employment Relations Board. Accordingly, we are unable to provide any additional comments at this time," end quote.